This week we are continuing with our worship in the wild in the Christian season of creation. As a community, we are thinking about the wisdom of creation and the web of life. Hello, beautiful people. It's Reverend Beth Walker here. I'm by Crystal Pool on Quadra Street. I'm here because of the growing encampment, and I'm thinking about the impact of suffering on all of us. It's been a difficult season, and I'd like to think that it is a season because, like fall and winter, a season has a beginning and ultimately an ending, and it's a transitional time to another space and time. We are in a difficult season, to be sure, not just because of COVID, although it certainly has compounded things and exposed weaknesses in our social system. Our eyes have been opened to the multiplicity of injustice, hateful rhetoric, systematic divisions, inequality, pain, and grief. And these things confront us in the voices of our neighbors. And truly, they are part of the lived experience of too many people in our community, and it can begin to feel like it will break us. It is apparent to me that we are all suffering, some more than others. And the truth is, we are in a bit of a mess on several fronts, such as how to care for those who suffer with extreme poverty, homelessness, addictions, and mental health. And I think we all know it. The book of Job is often the book of the Bible that is thought to be a guide to persistence when suffering. The Israelites who wrote the story are some of the same ones who wrote the story of creation, about a God who hovered over darkness to bring creation out of the chaos and then blessed it. The book of Job was created for a people who were trying to understand their complex, not always perfect relationship with God, especially when you believe that you're doing everything correctly. Now, I'm going to give you a quick, and I mean a very quick, recap of the parable or story of Job found in the Hebrew scriptures. God and his court are talking about Job, who has great wealth and a wonderful reputation. He is very pious, blameless, upright in the eyes of God, his neighbors, his friends, and family. Job has followed every rule. He has offered the appropriate sacrifices. God brags to Satan, who is like an adversary or an accuser, like a persecutor's attorney in a holy court. In a conversation with God, Satan says the only reason Job is so very pious is because what he's getting out of the deal or the transactional relationship. Job is not worshiping God because he is God, but rather that what he is getting out of it. So Satan takes away Job's children, his house, his property, everything but his life. Job's reaction? Well, he says some of the most famous words in the Bible. Naked I came from my mother's womb, naked I shall return. The Lord gives and the Lord takes away. He blesses God. Then, when Job does not get mad or even curse God, Satan says, well, this is because he hasn't been personally afflicted. Yay, Job! So far, so good. Satan is wrong. This is when Job is inflicted with boils all over his body. Yuck. Job says to his wife, shall we not receive the good at the hand of God and not the bad? Enter three friends who are trying to comfort Job in their own way. And they're trying to figure out what sin or action Job did that would bring such hardships. I think it would be hard to see your friend lose, well, everything. And I'm sure they wanted to learn from the situation. So they asked questions like, "Are you sure you didn't sin, Job?" The God they have come to believe in is a transactional God. This is a God that if you're in right relationship, well, then you get everything you need. If you obey, then you will be blessed and rewarded. If you disobey, you will be plagued or cursed or fall on hard times. The friends have every right to think like this. It was the primary theology during this time. I'm sad to say that I think some folks still think this way. But Job says, no. No, this isn't how he experiences God, a God of transaction. It just doesn't match his experience of the holy. The idea that if you suffered, it's because you've sinned. And I believe this poses a major stumbling block for justice in our society. Job points to creation herself as the character of God. In chapter 12, he says, "Ask the animals, and they will teach you. The birds of the air, and they will tell you. Ask the plants of the earth, and they will teach you. And the fish of the sea will declare to you. In God's hands is the life of every living thing, and the breath of every human being." All creation praises God. We are in a beginning of a new season, and our work as the people of the light is to ask. Asking is the first step to gleaning the wisdom of the ages. Our task this season is to ask and listen to the cool winds and the harvest. Listen for the wisdom that has yet to be revealed about what will bring about justice for all of creation. I'm standing at the Esquimalt Lagoon because this is a complicated ecological system that brings about beautiful diversity and unique answers to some very difficult questions. Take these words. Listen to the poem of Mary Oliver as you contemplate this new awakening about the web of life. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of rain are moving across the landscape, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clear blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Amen.